Hi folks, Dave Schmidt here. Hey, it's the morning of Friday, February 13th, and yes, this morning I get to tell you where I am. I am in Hong Kong, but by the time you see this video, we'll be gone. We'll be on to another location here in China. We have been moving around. We've been very thankful for that our time is here. I'm actually right now, I'm sitting in a little plaza on the roof of our hotel in Hong Kong. We're on the 40th floor here. We've been here for a few days, and we're moving on to another location. Why am I bringing this to you? Well, it's in this morning. I had an email come through for a post that somebody had referred to, and I read through that, and it was one of those really inspiring moments for me. And it was something that I felt that it would be good to share with you, those that are a regular part of viewing, the videos that I have here. And it all talked about the need to let go of fear and how important that is. But before I do that, let me express a couple of things. I've been saying since about the first or second week, in January, about the shifts and the changes. And those of you that are in tune with that, you're sensing that and you're feeling that. I talked about on the radio program last night about how the dark is getting darker and the light is getting lighter. And there's a separation that is beginning to take place. The intensity is increasing. I've talked about the aggression and the attacks that has come upon myself and the ambassador, and those continue to increase. We expect that. We totally expect that. That's a part of what we feel it comes with the territory. But there is something that allows you to rise above that. And the most important thing that you can do is to learn how to recognize that in your life. As we are entering into an era, into a phase of the shifts and changes that are taking place, it's extremely important that we understand and know how to let go of what is called the own inter-aggression, the aggression that is on the inner aggression, the aggression that is on the inside of us that we feel towards other people. We wonder, where does this come from? What is it? At the very root of all of that is this whole concept of separation. I am separate from you. I am different from you. I am separated from God. And even in a biblical term, the whole base definition of sin is to be separated from God. The separation comes because we are in conflict to how our universe really operates. Everything in this world is connected. We are all connected at the energetic level, at the quantum level. We're connected to each other. We're connected to the universe. We're connected to nature. All energy is connected, and nothing can be separate. You don't understand that? Go take a look at quantum physics. Quantum physics just describes that to the T. And what happens is, when we in our minds develop our concept of separation, in contrast to oneness, that's what creates our pain. That's what creates the aggression. That's what creates the anger. That's what creates the differences. That's what creates all the problems and the anxieties and the hatred and the wars that we have within our world. It was yesterday that the group of us, and you heard on the radio now, there are 4 that have joined Charlotte and I here in China, and there's a group of 6 of us that are here. We had spent some time with one of the senior members of the Dragon family, and I was showing him basically an email that had come through that was aggressively attacking the ambassador and myself. He looked at it, read it thoroughly, went through it a couple times, and he turned to me and he had this wonderful smile on his face, and he says, "Dave, when we know who we are, we really don't have to worry about these things because we know who we are. I'm telling you, you've heard it many times before." And he says, if we chose to, we could today transfer $1 billion into your bank account and it wouldn't even be a drop in the bucket for us. That's who these people are. But they are clearly based and rooted into a strong spiritual aspect. They understand the principles of this world, and they understand that they cannot be releasing money into a world of separation and aggression, because all it does is become a tool for more separation and aggression. So how is it, as this intensity is increasing and these things are picking up, how is it that you respond to that? What do you do? It's back to a word I share in my workshops for all of you that have been there, and it's a very, very, very powerful tool. And yes, it's a religious term. If you want to look at it that way, you can look at it as a spiritual term, or you can just look at it as something that is really downright practical. It's called forgiveness. What is forgiveness? Forgiveness has nothing to do with who is right and who is wrong. It has nothing to do that someone else wronged you and you have to apply that to them. Forgiveness is the means of how you free yourself from this aggression that you feel inside, this anger that builds up in the side, this need to be right, the need to be right. I'm right and someone else is wrong. The need to prove yourself. You will know that. How do you know when you need to forgive? You feel it within yourself because of the thoughts that come to you and the feelings, and they predominantly come from the people who are pressing your buttons. Someone presses your button. You find yourself debating, arguing, and fighting with that person in your mind. Where's all these thoughts coming from? Where is all this originating? It's very likely something of a past conflict. Maybe it wasn't with that individual, but that individual is representing that. Now, I have been using a term, and I kind of jokingly talked about it on the video I put out the other day, and I do use this term. For some of you, you don't like this. I mean, for me, almost 30 years, I didn't like this term because of my background, what I had been taught, and a belief that I designed. And it's the term karma. What is karma? Karma is basically when you have thoughts and actions, you create an energetic reaction. And if you have very negative, dense, karmic actions that creates pain in other people, you've created this energy. And at some point in time, you have to balance that out. And there's two ways to do that. You can continue to live it out, and you will live it out in the aggression of your actions, in your thoughts, how you aggress on other people, how you attack from other people. You keep the separation alive. And what stops that? Forgiveness. It's what heals it. It's what clears it. It's what diffuses it. It's what alchemizes it. You can use whatever term you want. For 4 to 5 years of my life, I was adamant about doing that work within my life. And I was able to recognize the people who created these karmic reactions within me, these energetic reactions of anger and fear. I still have some that I am working on with certain people. But I have become very, very quick to recognize when it pops up in front of my face, I know what to do immediately. I don't attach to it. I don't argue with them. I do not fight with them in my mind. I let it be. What is forgiveness? Forgiveness is when you see something that is aggressing at you, making you angry, irritable, and you feel it within inside of yourself, you choose to change your perception. Instead of seeing it here, you let it be. You become the observer of the event. You become the observer of the person, and then you look beyond it. And you see them for who they truly are. Someone who's just hurting, someone who is wounded, someone who is acting out their pain and projecting their pain from that is coming within. And to forgive that is to let it be, to let it go, and to lift it off and send it away. It is extremely important, as we're going to see what I call the aggression attacks pick up, that we move into forgiveness. Because see, if you don't move into forgiveness, then you will stay in the aggression. You will stay in the darker and denser energy. And as all the energy of the planet around us is beginning to pick up, what is happening is there is a release, and literally light is becoming lighter and darkness is becoming darker. Now on this newsletter, I'm going to post a link to an article that inspired me this morning. And it's basically by a gentleman by the name of John Smallman. And yes, it's a channeled message, but you know, folks do. Some of you have problems with that. But do this, look beyond that, and just read the content. Focus on the content. It all talks about the need of forgiveness, the need to let go of our fear. Fear is what creates the separation. Fear is what creates the aggression. Fear is what creates the anger. Dark, dense energies that keeps us entrapped as a human race into this world that is really a very dark and dense world when we want to look at it that way. When we move into aspects of love, when you forgive, it lets you have the fear in front of your face, let it be, and then look beyond it to being a person of love. That is so extremely important for all of us as we do this. And so as I bring this message to you this morning, that is something I continue to work on within my own life. It is something I continue to exercise and do myself. And it is something that we are moving into when Charla and I and the others are here in China. Of all the things I talk about, of everything that goes on, there is nothing that is more important than that. And even yesterday, when we were meeting with this senior member of the Dragon family, this individual that says I could put $1 billion in your checking account tomorrow if I wanted to. The longer I am with them, the more we are meeting with them, the more we are convinced that they are who they say they are. They have what they say that they have. And we have no reason to not trust them at all. That we get to move into this era. We get to move into this issue. And you know what? Let me be really practical. What if everything I've been saying to you about this family wasn't true? It's not about the end result. It's not about getting money. It's all about the journey. That's what life is all about. You know, Charla and I, we were talking about that last night. We said, what if all this wasn't true and what they've been leading us on? And we'd be shocked, first of all, because they have no reason to be sharing everything they have shared with us, told us everything that they have told us, bring us to the point that we're doing. They have no reason to be doing this. I mean, you know, come on, folks. For 20 years, I was in politics. I was in the BS industry. Politics is the biggest BS industry that there is. So I became somewhat accustomed to how to read people and kind of know when you're BS. And I thought, well, what if it wasn't true? And we turned to each other. We had wonderful smiles on our faces, and we just said, the journey has been worth it. The journey has been worth it because we are different people today than what we were 6 months ago, 1 year ago. We're at peace. Life flows for us. It has a beautiful flow of energy for us in everything that we do. We are enjoying the flow of life, what we call the divine aspect. Money shows up whenever we need it. Guidance shows up whenever we need it. We're not struggling to try to identify and to make things happen and to attach ourselves to certain things and to try to make a name for ourselves. We really don't care about that anymore. There's no more attachment. Why? Because we have both worked diligently the forgiveness process in our lives. When you do that, when you take that anger, the aggression, the irritation that's staring you in the face because of what someone else has said, what someone else is doing, release it, observe it, let it go, and look beyond it, there is an alchemizing process that happens within you. The energy, the karmic energy, is transformed from hardness, from anger and darkness into love and forgiveness and joy and in light. And the more you do that, the more it automatically becomes a part of your life. Work on it, folks. Work on it. Work on it. Work on it. If we wish to be a people that is going to help transform this human race, help change everything that goes on around us, we have to be in that position where we're free. Old karmic energy attachments that you still have within you, they will pop up, they will come before you, and instead of looking at them with fear, looking at them with anger, looking at them with aggression, looking at them with anxiety, see them as your gift. They are a gift to you to bring to you what you really want in your life. They're a gift to you to say, this is a block. You're having trouble getting past this. Forgive it, release it, let it go, heal it, clear it. And when you do that, life will begin to flow for you. Beautiful day here in Hong Kong today. It's going to be about 72 degrees Fahrenheit here today, but we're leaving because right now, as I'm looking at my watch, well, it's about 9 a.m. in Hong Kong on Friday morning. That means it's 4 p.m., if I'm right. It's 4 p.m. on the Pacific Coast, 5 p.m. in Arizona on Thursday night. But by the time I post this video, we will have left. We'll be in another location, in another spot in China. We'll be there for a few days, and then we'll be going on again I can't tell you right now. And the reason is because we're watched, we're followed. We have people coming after us because they're wanting to discover and find who are these senior members of the Dragon family. And there are cabal forces out there that know that I am in contact with them, and so they follow us. We're not in direct threat. It's just they follow us, they come after us, and they kind of irritate us because of their aggression, of their anger that they're not dealing with in their own lives, because they want to have fine contact with the family members. And that's why that's why we can't disclose our location, but we'll be able to say a lot more when we get back home. So, okay, work on that. Work on it. Work on it. It's the most important thing of everything that I've said in this over a year and a half that I've been coming to you in videos and newsletters, is to learn how to do that healing and clearing and forgiveness process in your life. You will be a better person for it. It opens up doors for you. Life begins to flow for you. Okay? Love all of you. Thank you. Have an absolutely tomorrow Valentine's Day, which is a day of expressing love. Have an absolutely wonderful Valentine's Day tomorrow, because I don't know when you're going to see this video. We have to travel before I get to post it, but Valentine's Day, it's either coming up in 1 day or 2 days. 1 day for us, it might be 2 days for you. Love all of you. Okay, bye-bye.